Scene 4. We own our thoughts. We always have a choice on what we think about. When we think about something, those thoughts are going to have a cause and an effect. Even if what we are thinking about is a valid concern and our displeasure is justified, we must keep in mind that by thinking about it, we run the risk of repetition of those thoughts. Our brain will go to work to create a neuropathway for that thinking. I am using negative, unbeneficial thoughts as an example, but the same rules apply to positive and beneficial thoughts and behavior. I am explaining how our brain works and provoking thoughts on how we can tap into this to our benefit. This means that repetitive thoughts and repetitive thinking, or those thoughts, will begin to run automatically. Obsessive thoughts. A movie in the mind. We can become glued to the screen in a subconscious, hypnotic state. This includes the images that we allow into our mind. Our thoughts and the images in our mind will send our brain a message. Our brain will begin to release chemical messengers, neurotransmitters. These will create feelings within us. I know I said this in other sections, but this must be thoroughly assimilated into your understanding. Consider this book a boot camp for your brain. When it is all over, you will have a solid foundation of the human operating system. The repetition of thoughts and the chemical messengers they produce condition your body to crave them and the feelings they produce. Your body will become addicted to the feeling of anger, stress, anxiety, fear, or paranoia. It will be subconscious. Have you ever met a person who just looks for an argument? A person who seems to be addicted to problems. I call this a predefined chemical state. Let us learn the names of some chemical messengers and what they produce. Cortisol, stress. Dopamine, anticipation/good feelings. Adrenaline, energy/blood flow/hyperactivity. Serotonin, well-being/good feelings. Oxytocin, love/trust/happiness/bonding. Glucose, brain function/concentration/cognitive fatigue/cognitive decline/memory focus/overload. These create the flavors or ingredients of sadness, happiness, anger, fear, aggression, paranoia, anxiety, memory, lack of memory, energy, sexual desire, lack of sexual desire, love, cognitive decline, dry mouth, rapid heartbeat, weakness, etc. What we see and think triggers these. When you are watching a movie in your mind, you have begun to create recipes in your brain and body. A chemical cocktail. Imagine you are eating, and you add too much salt or too much spicy sauce. You overdo it, it tastes bad. Imagine you have a great meal, and you add the correct balance of seasoning, it tastes good. What you think and see in your mind influences your body physically. It creates a reaction, a seasoning, in your mind. The amygdala. That's an area in our brain that is responsible for anger, paranoia, aggression, and rage. Excitement, happiness. It is where fearful memories are stored. It is like a built-in alarm system that intends to protect us. Amygdala hijack. That's when the amygdala takes control over the frontal lobe of the brain. The frontal lobe is where logical thinking takes place. The planning, the calculating, and the decision-making. When we experience stress or fear, the amygdala, a part of our brain responsible for processing emotions, can go into overdrive, triggering what's known as an amygdala hijack. What we are thinking can easily trigger an amygdala hijack. Some people get an amygdala hijack over a difference of opinion, or because you passed them on the road, an unexpected bill, or after reading an email. What I'm trying to do in this book is to teach you how to tap into these areas and rules of the brain so that you can benefit from them. They are rules, they are laws that will be obeyed. So let us tap in and harness their power. Let us ride the wave. If you are experiencing an amygdala hijack, then you know that what you saw or what you think has activated that area of your brain. You have an edge on society. Your brain is only trying to protect you. What you can do, if you want, is to switch the focus to a thought or an image that lives in the frontal lobe. A mathematical task, a logical question. For example, ask yourself, why am I angry? How much is 9 times 9? How does this make me feel? Who is the main character in the movie, The Titanic? Science has discovered that both areas of the brain cannot be activated at the same time. The direct experience network and the amygdala. One cancels the other. There are some technical exceptions to this, but for the purpose of this conversation, that's all you need to know. Deep breathing techniques help to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which counteracts the stress response. This helps to calm down the amygdala and reduce the intensity of the emotional reaction. Deep, slow breathing also increases oxygen flow to the brain, promoting clarity and relaxation. So, by focusing on our breath, we can effectively calm the amygdala hijack and regain control over our emotions. Counting can help calm a person who is angry. Counting engages the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking and decision-making, which can override the emotional response triggered by anger. It acts as a distraction, giving the person time to cool down and regain control over their emotions. Additionally, counting can regulate breathing patterns, further promoting relaxation. So, when feeling angry, taking a moment to count slowly can provide a helpful pause to diffuse the situation. There you have it. The brain hacks to control your feelings and your brain. The brain likes what is familiar. So, if we make thinking about our coworkers or our bills or our problems familiar, our brain will piggyback on that and feed our thoughts with anything that can justify what we are thinking. By the same token, if we make feeling happy or thinking about success and positivity familiar, our brain will use the same rules and laws to build on those thoughts. If I ask myself, why am I such an idiot? My brain will produce answers that justify why I am an idiot. If I ask myself, why am I so smart? My brain will provide me with reasons why I am so smart. Our brain is like a Google search or a keyboard. It is contextual like the toolbar of an app. This is why we must carefully choose our choice of words when we speak to ourselves and to others. I can itemize everything good that I have accomplished or has happened to me the previous day. Or I can focus on the coworker that I said good morning to, who did not look at me and chose to have a serious, unfriendly face. Note, before creating and applying an alternate thinking and behavior, we must identify the existing pattern of thinking and behavior. This is where we use metacognition. This is to examine what we think, how we think, and why we think it. The same process in the brain applies to feeling happy and telling ourselves positive things. I am in control. I can make something familiar by repeating it. I can wake up every morning and say I am great, I am powerful, I have a beautiful life. Yes, I hate that Christine is always kissing Tom's ass and she is always minding other people's business. I hate that ST is always going in the office and telling the office people what other people do. He is a snitch and he is a wannabe blood who always talks about how dangerous he is. That's the kind of place I work in. For years I was taking this baggage home with me and symbolically I was inviting these people to dinner in my mind. For years I brought these people home with me to dinner in my mind. Why do you think I learned all this brain stuff? I was going crazy with my thoughts. And the boss, Tom, he is a little bitch. Stays in his office, does not want to be bothered. Go see Keith, see Brian, supervisors. Here's the problem, Keith and Brian don't even talk to me or look at me. So whatever problem I have at work must be dealt with face-to-face confrontations on the floor or in the bathroom. This could lead to fighting. All because the supervisors don't care. They don't want to be disturbed from their computer browsing, shopping online, or texting on their mobile phones. Can you imagine the shit I eat in this job? All because I need the money. Okay, this is not an autobiography. I only use those examples as case studies. I am sure you have your own problems. And this book is going to empower you and I to deal with them without damaging our brain, body, and nervous system. Wherever we go in life, we will find bullshit. When I was married and my wife and I said, I do, and that's the woman who gave me children, her body, her love, and we shared a home and a bed. I still had to eat shit. I still had to deal with bullshit and argue and deal with it. And vice versa. What is my point? We need to learn coping skills that do not destroy us on the inside. As long as we are alive, there will be challenges and things to make us angry, sad, depressed, or stressed. If I let it or them in, my brain will not say to me, hey, Sam, this is not beneficial to you. No. My brain will see that I am repeating the thoughts and create connections with every related memory and establish neuropathways to run that thinking and behavior on autopilot. I hate that Angie is a pathological talker and gossiper. She runs her mouth all day. I am amazed that she has a job. I hate that Keith and Brian are unfriendly, unapproachable, and unprofessional. I hate that. They're what I say they are. I hate that George and Lewis are always whispering and talking about other people. They talk about me, then they smile in my face. What does this thinking get me? At the end of the day, I cannot change them, and I cannot control what they think, say, or do. That is energy I can channel into my book or into my jewelry business or into how the clear blue sky looks so perfect with the fluffy white clouds and the sun on the side with the birds flying. It's my choice. Even if the thought is a valid thought, the point is, I am in control of letting it in to plant a seed and grow inside of me. I know how my brain works, so I ask myself, is this worth it? Does this person, place, or thing deserve a slice of my pizza pie? For years I have been glued to the screen of the movie in my mind. My brain has been conditioned to worry and prepare for a specific outcome. It has released chemical messengers every day into my body, and at this point my body is addicted to the feeling state produced by the chemicals. Anxiety, stress, worry, anticipation, fear, and precaution. My body has even memorized the body language and facial expression that accompanies that thinking. Have you ever met a professional worrier? Have you ever met a professional complainer or a professional pessimist? How do you think they became that way? Those are skills that were developed through repetition and practice. They spoke certain words, they imagined certain images, and they moved their body and breathed in certain ways. They rehearsed so much that they can complain or worry without any conscious thought or effort. Please note, they did not consciously rehearse and practice to develop these skills, but scientifically and logically, that is exactly what they did. Through repetition, they developed subconscious behavior. Skills that run on autopilot. We can use the same law for positivity and new skills. I have a coworker. I call him yeah but John. He always has to insert the word but into anything you say. I can never say anything to him without him making a negative, pessimistic comment or adding what to be careful about. If I give him a delicious creamy donut, he will say the donut has a hole in it. It is such a turn off, this behavior. Okay, I wanted to share my experiences and my perceptions because they demonstrate how our thoughts, the movies in our mind, affect us. Back to me and one of the movies in my mind. In scientific terms, cortisol, adrenaline, and dopamine have been released into the body for so long that now it is craved. The part of my brain responsible for paranoia, anger, and fear has been activated so many times that it has physically changed and grown. It is running on autopilot, outside the area of conscious awareness. My amygdala has physically grown. That is the part of the brain that is activated under those circumstances. It is also where fear memories are located. Scientifically speaking, I am changing my brain. This is called neuroplasticity. Neuro for nerve cells in the brain and plastic for being moldable, malleable. I am slowly changing my brain with my thoughts. Albert Einstein had a huge frontal lobe. That's where thinking takes place. How we think changes our brain. When we add the other rules or laws of the brain, repetition, we are signaling our brain that what we repeat is important. In simple terms, this is what's going on under the hood of our mind. My brain does not care what I feed it. It will eat what I give it and go to work to produce the results it thinks I want. I can create the same chemical addiction or predefined state with different chemicals in my mind, a different movie in my mind. Consider an athlete that is training for an event or a student preparing for an education. Or consider the person who has his or her eye on another person he or she wants a relationship with. He or she creates a movie in the mind of how to meet that other person and how to start the conversation. His or her brain will examine the information, eat it, and go to work to produce the results and the feelings that correspond to those images, thoughts, and language. The previous movie can be replaced with a new movie. A movie with happy thoughts, happy words, and happy images. Basically, write a new script, create new characters, and create a new movie. Self-talk. At this point, it is I who must reprogram my subconscious mind with my conscious mind. Then my brain will create a new neuropathway that has a different script, a different movie in my mind. After I repeat that movie, those thoughts, those words, then I will have created a new neuropathway. With the previous movie in my mind, I am getting old. I had the lead role, and my performance was immaculate because I repeated it so many times. So, this morning as I prepared my coffee, I caught myself. I was glued to the screen of the movie in my mind. Then I thought about this book I am writing. Then I asked myself this question. If I were given the lead role in a movie where I was an established, successful writer, and I had total financial security and housing, and I could live near my family and have an exceptional quality of life, how would I feel? And how would I behave? My mind and my brain replied to me. Think in images. Think in images. B. Just be that person and play the part like you own it. Become one with the character. Add special effects to the scene. Stand tall and proud. Breathe strong and have the excited facial expression and body language that a successful, financially secure writer and established businessperson would have. B. Just be that person and play the part like you own it. Become one with the character. Become one with the character. At this point, my emotional state changed, and the movie in my mind changed from anxiety and worry to excitement and anticipation. The position of my head shifted from looking down to looking up, and my body language changed. Simply by inserting a new CD or a new app into the hard drive of my brain. New thoughts, new images. Our brain does not care what we feed it. It will take what we feed it and go to work to produce the results that it thinks that we want. When you obsess over a memory or remember an experience, you are activating the areas in your brain where those memories are located. You run the risk of reliving those moments and re-engaging the same chemical messengers, neurotransmitters, and feeling the same way again. That will lead to chemical dependency to the same feeling states produced by the brain. Why? Because of the repetition. If something is repeated, the brain will think it is important and preserve energy. It will do it for you automatically so you can do something else. For example, oh, I miss him. He left me. I loved him. I'm hurt. Or, my coworker is evil. He took credit for my work. Christine kisses Tom's ass. Or, Angie does not stop running her mouth. She talks all day. Christine, Lil Angel, Miss Cupcake, the boss's pet. She is always telling the boss what other people do. Why is she so nosy? SD. He is a foot messenger that takes information from what you tell him and spreads it all over the place. He's always talking about how dangerous he is. Can he even fight? You and only you have total control of your thoughts, your point of view, and your focus. Take the above example of negative thoughts. Even if they are true, and even if you are in that situation, the brain is taking what you say. Literally, the brain has no sense of humor or ethical guidelines. It will never offer you a suggestion or say to you, hey, this is not good for you. It will observe the focus and the repetition and go to work. It is your mind that interferes and tells you when to stop obsessing or how to handle situations. The problem is, if we are not aware of these processes, our thoughts can lead to destruction and sabotage. We can unknowingly sabotage our success and happiness and physical and mental health. My analogy of the movie in your mind is a useful tool for designing your life and controlling how you make your body feel. It is based on neuroscience. That means that scientific research on the brain has been conducted on humans and animals by behavioral scientists, psychologists, and neurologists, then presented for peer review, then looked at objectively. Throughout the years, and by conducting experiments and tests, science has discovered that there are rules to the brain, the subconscious mind, the conscious mind. Each one has a specific currency or value system that trades, the same as when we buy and sell with money. The brain and the conscious mind understand words, images, and experiences. The subconscious mind understands emotions. It's a formula we can learn to mix and match. We can create our own brew, our own blend. First, we must learn the basics. This is why I choose to repeat certain things and use personal disclosure about my life. I want to illustrate clearly how thoughts, images, and words impact our brain. A thought in your mind buys you a specific feeling or perception or opinion. An image in your mind buys you a feeling or a thought or reaction. An emotional impact can dictate to your subconscious mind what you believe and how you should behave. Put them together and you can buy energy or weakness, depression or happiness. You can literally change your body with your mind. With this information and with this skill, you can eliminate fears, phobias, insecurities, and eliminate pain. You can achieve goals and dreams and build an empire. If you believe you can, create a movie. Create a character and become as one with that character. You can write the script, you can direct the movie, you can play the lead role. You can add special effects. You can eliminate unpleasant habits and create good ones, change behaviors and perceptions. You can become smarter, confident, calm, brave, peaceful. If you have lived your life looking into the rearview mirror and reliving the past, this book can guide you to the present moment, the road ahead. This information provokes thoughts about what you can become, not what you were or what you are now. Your past does not equal your future.